Imagine you're setting the mood in your app with a theme. Maybe going for something light during the day and dark at night. With React's useContext, you can easily share this theme vibe across your components without prop drilling. Think of it like this. You create a theme context to hold your theme light by default. Then in your app component, you grab the current theme with useContext. Now, depending on the theme, your app's background and text color change dynamically. Simple and clean, right? Hey friend, let's dive into how we can theme our app using React's Context API. It starts with creating a theme context using React Create Context, and we set the default theme to light. But here's where the magic happens. We wrap our toolbar component inside the theme context provider and switch the theme to dark. This essentially tells React, hey, anything inside this provider? Use the dark theme. Pretty neat way to control the look of our app, right? Imagine we have this awesome button component that changes its look based on the theme of our app. By using useContext with our theme context, we can easily grab the current theme. With just a simple ternary operation, the button dynamically adjusts its colors. If the theme is dark, it turns the button background black with white text. On the flip side, a light theme sets it back to a white background with black text. Super cool, right? It's like magic but with code. Here's where the magic happens. Imagine you want your app to switch between a light and dark theme with the click of a button. We start with a theme provider component managing our theme state. By default, it's set to light. But inside, there's a function that flips it to dark and vice versa. Then, we pass this power to any component that wants it through context, like our theme toggle button. Click that button, and boom, you're toggling between light and dark themes. It's like giving your app a little light switch. In this scenario, we're diving into how React's useContext effortlessly manages themes. By default, our Create context sets the theme to light. But notice, in our app component, we didn't wrap themed button in a theme context provider. This means our themed button falls back to using the default light theme, showcasing how powerful yet simple useContext is in handling data through our component tree, even when a provider isn't directly specified. So imagine you've invited your friends over for a pizza party at your place, but you forgot to bring the pizza into the apartment. That's kind of like trying to use some context inside some component without wrapping it in some context. Provider first, your friends can't enjoy the pizza outside. But if you bring the pizza inside and share it, everyone's happy. Similarly, placing some context provider above some component makes the context available to it, ensuring everyone gets a slice of the action. Imagine we're painting a picture, but instead of brushes, we're using contexts to add colors. Here, we're dipping into two color pots. Theme context for our background shade and user context for our personalized greeting. As we sketch, we use useContext to apply our colors directly onto our canvas, creating a welcoming message that changes with the theme and greets the user by name. It's like magic, shaping an experience that feels both welcoming and dynamic. Let's dive into how we can boost our app's performance when we're passing objects and functions around in our context. Well, use useMemo and useCallback. Imagine wrapping our context value in a cozy, performance-boosting blanket with useMemo. This essentially memoizes the value, so that it only recalculates when necessary, preventing those pesky, unnecessary re-renders. See how it wraps around the value in our example? That's us saying goodbye to performance woes. So, we have this simple setup where our button is supposed to change its style based on a theme. It's like telling a room to light up but forgetting to mention how bright. See, we created a theme context, but when we used it in our app, we missed giving it a specific theme value. That's like inviting guests without telling them where to go. Without the correct guidance, our button is lost, unsure which theme to wear. Well, use React DevTools to spot this easily missed step and get our button dressed correctly. Imagine you're painting a picture but decide to change colors halfway through for a small section. That's what we're doing with our app's theme. By default, every button shines in a light theme. But, we've decided to shake things up for a specific button, giving it a dark theme cozy nook using the theme provider. It's like using a magic brush to paint over just that part, changing its vibe without touching the rest of the painting.